see what happens when we plug this in. Ho, ho, ho. I got 3 dots. 3 dots on a charged phone. I have a saying. That saying is, I don't get mad, I get creative. There we go. It shouldn't freeze because I have... Hi! How are you? There, I think our... Wow! You're quick. I just started. We have the bell today. This is my second attempt at eating marshmallows. Because yesterday, you're good? All right. I'm all right. I got all my errands done today. Let me see if I can light this candle. My candle lighter needs to work. I'm having malfunctions all the time. There we go. Now we have flame. All right. Christmas tree candle. Yay. I'm going to use this to roast my marshmallows. So I have my my skewer. I think I can bend this down a little bit. So we'll catch the candle flame, our romantic candle flame. That's pretty high. There we go. It looks like a snowy Christmas tree. Because yesterday I was trying to roast marshmallows. Merry Christmas! Between us there is a candle. I have to elevate it a little bit. It's not windy today, so I can light a candle. I'm going to use this to roast my marshmallows. I was trying to roast marshmallows yesterday, but the lighter wasn't working. Let me see if I push this back a bit. Yeah, it's still too low. You can almost see the flame. I'll put the flame right in the middle. Oh well, you get the idea. I can stay warm and cook marshmallows. I was kind of, yeah, that saddened me a bit. Because my lighter wouldn't light. It ran out of fuel. And then I thought, hey, if I get a candle, if I can keep that candle lit, I'll see how it works. It looks like it's gonna. See if it won't blacken my marshmallow. Candle flame doesn't seem to be that dependable. There we go. Yeah! Yoo-hoo! It turns... You like my candle? I'm borrowing it from my mom. My mom's all about Christmas decorations. It looks like a snowy Christmas tree. It's a candle that doesn't melt, which is cool. I'm sitting here. Yay! Marshmallows! That's what we could do each time we have a live stream. Each time I stream, we can roast marshmallows until it gets too hot. When it gets hot, we'll just drink lemonade. We can have lemonade and potato chips, or crisps, as they say in the UK. We can munch on crisps. I don't have any likes yet. Sure. Wouldn't that be nice if we just all snack together? It'll be our designated snack time. Things are getting better already. Today I had to get my blood drawn. They're trying to see if my thyroid is okay. Look at how it turns the marshmallow black. When I use a candle to roast the marshmallow, it gets black. There we go. The flame doesn't seem. Snack time. We can call this show Snack Time. Hi, and welcome to Snack Time. Gather together, boys and girls, so we can roast marshmallows. Get yourself a skewer and some marshmallows. I bought the store brand marshmallows. It's less than $2 for a bag of marshmallows. It's inexpensive, but fun all the same. So what should we discuss today? Should we discuss the price of gold? I noticed the price of gold's gone up quite a bit lately. Gold is almost, I think it's $2,000 now an ounce. I remember when it was like $160. Gold and what else? Diamonds. They say diamonds are forever. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Let's discuss what we should do. Yeah, what should we do for the next video? I've been stealing jokes lately, like dad jokes. I listen to dad jokes, and I say, that's a good one. I think I'll make a short about it. Dad jokes seem to be popular now. I was getting some requests for dad jokes. I want to do like musical numbers or something like that. Ask kids to dance. There's a lot of kids dancing on YouTube. They're doing little short videos. Ask people if they know the Macarena. Excuse me, will you do the Macarena? They'll say, what? Let's make a Christmas tree. I don't know if we have the stuff to do that. We'll have to make a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. A tiny little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Get some candy canes, some ornaments. So I'm coming to you live from my side yard, roasting marshmallows. I did a 2-hour live stream yesterday and it disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. I kept the stream going for 2 hours. And then I ended it and now it's gone. And I know I didn't delete it. Yeah, it is okay. I have many other streams that I've done. There's a short I did of my mom's dog. She put him in a sweater. I hope people see that. It's kind of cute. He's got a little Christmas sweater that has a penguin on it. I made it a couple of days ago. I think it was the day before yesterday. It's so cute. He's a little white doggy and he's got a sweater on. Some people buy sweaters for their dogs. And then I had a group of people say Gerflungus. That one didn't get very many views. For some reason, I don't know why. I'll have to make more videos of people saying Gerflungus. Gerflungus. Somebody wrote in the comments that my live stream was cracking. And then I thought, let loose the Kraken. That's what we'll say. You did? Was it cute? The little doggy. That's our puppy dog. His name is Shaggy. He's a perfect Christmas dog. Yes, I agree. Nothing cuter than a dog in a sweater. Because doggies sometimes need a sweater. Da da da. So I guess it's a person. I think this will catch on. I've only been doing this for a couple of months. It needs time to get out there. We need to get the word out. Yep, just you. So where are you? Where are you right now? Are you in the Netherlands or in Denmark or in Canada? I get some people from Denmark. Oh, you're in Arabia. Okay. Saudi Arabia. It's probably dark there right now. A lot of places it's dark right now because they're like 5 hours ahead. Here it's only like 2 o'clock. Yeah. 9:30. That's not too terribly late. It's late for me though. Some places it was like 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock. 9:30. You've been leaving a lot of comments, I've noticed. I need to put more effort into my videos. It'll make my videos that much more cracking. I want to make some cracking videos. I have a black marshmallow. You do? Well, then I'll keep it up. I'm glad when people like my videos. I have to think for a while to see what would be funny, though. I only want to put up the best videos. That way it keeps people coming back. I wonder what he's going to put up next. I have blue water. Looks like window cleaner. I have window cleaner. I'm drinking window cleaner. One person was eating M&Ms with me. I was doing a snack time. I said, "What are you eating?" He said, "M&Ms." Blue water. That's right. It's like a little drink. There are packets that you put in the water to add flavor. And it looks like blue water. So you could say, "I'm so thirsty." And then people think you're drinking window cleaner. I brought my white gloves. Merry Christmas. These are small gloves, but they keep my hands warm. All the same. I'm wearing my eyeball ring today. It's like a cute little eyeball. Something for fun. Very Christmassy, a little orange eyeball. There we go. Howdy-ho! Mr. Hanky. You've never celebrated Christmas. I know that seems to be a Western thing. Mostly, yeah, people in the In the UK and in, I think Canada celebrates Christmas. I know Denmark, they celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Christmas on the 24th instead of the 25th. I know it's like everyone has a different holiday they celebrate. Yeah, we have a lot of Muslims here. I saw quite a few of them in California, where I lived when I lived in California. So we got, yeah, we have a mix. There's a mix of a lot of different faiths. Quite a few faiths here in America. So there's, oh wait, you never visited? Okay. Yeah, a lot of people either visit or they move here. They migrate, and especially at airports. You see at airports a lot of different people from different countries. We are an equal opportunity employer. It doesn't really matter where you come from. Yeah. And we have different languages here too. Lots of different languages. At home, everyone speaks their native language. And then out in public, they, it's still like English is the universal language here. If you really want to get around and get to know people, you speak English. Some people want you to speak English. I try to speak in other languages and they keep speaking to me in English. I guess because they want to get good at it. That's to play it safe. You know, if you I'm surprised with all these. Oh, really? Wow. I've seen Arabic written. I have a ring that has some Arabic on it. We see a lot of different languages, the writings, like applications, they all have different languages. They're all written in different languages. What's neat is you can ask for an interpreter, or the language that you most speak in. You can have that. They find someone who speaks your language. That way you can get more taken care of. You know, there isn't a language barrier. Sometimes phone calls. That's what a lot of people correct people on is grammar, you know. They're called grammar Nazis, you know, people who really like to correct other people's grammar. How long have you been speaking English? And it's like, I think it depends on where you are, because people speak differently where you are. Like in the South, they say y'all, they say ain't, and there's a lot of terminology they use. They say I appreciate. And then if you go to New York, they call a pizza a pie. You want to go have on a pie? What do you mean pie? Oh, pizza. And then there's different pastimes too, what people do. Some people like baseball. Some people like soccer and football. So that's good. I can make connections with people when I keep making videos. I've been noticing that. I noticed that, yeah. People always ask, where are you from? What's that accent from? You know, Australia and New Zealand. The accents sound similar, but not the same. You know, like someone from Australia. When you listen to their accent, it's a little different than someone from New Zealand. That's where Lucy Lawless is from. Lucy Lawless played Xena, Warrior Princess. And I think Zoe Bell, there's a stunt woman named Zoe Bell. I think she's also from New Zealand. She did a lot of stunt work for Kill Bill. And also Death Proof was another movie she did. I think she did the stunt work for Xena, Warrior Princess also. A stuntman's a stunt woman or man, their job is really hard because they have to get hurt, or they get hurt instead of the actor or actress. You know, they have a stunt double. So whenever there's a fight scene or some kind of action scene, the stunt double is the one who takes on the risks. And I'm glad to see when they don't get hurt. It is, yeah. That and also a negotiator. You know, like if somebody is holding someone hostage, or a SWAT team. They call them Special Weapons and Tactics. That's got to be a tough job. Like when somebody is holding someone hostage, they send out the SWAT team. Or so, like the hostage negotiator. You know, they have to negotiate with the hostage taker, so they'll let the hostage go. That happens, you know, I haven't seen it much, but I remember one time in California, there was somebody who took a hostage. It was just down the street from where I lived. It was over on Arden Fair. Bye. Have a good day. Good talking to you. Hopefully I'll have more interesting stuff to talk about. Dangerous jobs. So we'll see who else joins us today. It's better to stay for a while than to not come at all. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll sit here with my little candle. There's a lot of oxygen out here. Lots and lots of oxygen. My battery pack is still holding up. I like when people say goodbye, you know, instead of just leaving. I'm feeling the rush now. I've had a few marshmallows and I'm starting to get a buzz. I'm getting a good buzz from the marshmallows. I have no idea what time it is right now. I know it's about 3 o'clock when my friend walks by. There's a girl that gets off the school bus down the street. And when I see her walk by, I know it's at least 3 o'clock. I think right now it's like 1 o'clock. So now I can say I talked to someone from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia and the Netherlands, from Denmark, from Canada, and the UK. We can swing by the UK for biscuits and tea, bangers and mash, fish and chips. There was a store, it was a British store in California where they served fish and chips. They served, I'm pretty sure, bangers and mash. Those are good supper time, or good for dinner. For dinner, it's bangers and mash. And a pint of beer. Might I have a pint of beer? Or fish and chips with some melted butter, maybe some lemon juice. That's what helps me when I'm eating fish is to have lemon juice. Some people it's tartar sauce. Tartar sauce. With my fish and chips, I'll have some tartar sauce. And some Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey. I remember that. And then there's rose. It's been a while since I've had some Earl Grey. And then there's the scones. I'm going to have to ask for some scones. I don't think I've ever tried scones. Buttered scones. Like that song goes. And have buttered scones for tea. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. I, I chop down trees, I skip and jump. I go to the lavatory. On Wednesdays I go shopping and have buttered scones for tea. That brings back memories. In the 70s, I was in high school, and the Monty Python was very popular. That was completely different. That was the movie that skit was played in. It was called "And Now for Something Completely Different." John Cleese was in that quite a bit. I like when they were slapping each other with a fish. Tell me, who is your favorite comedian? I was going to ask that earlier today. Who is your favorite comedian? I was like Andy Kaufman. I think on my, what's that called? It's my community page. My YouTube community page, I might put some Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman played Tony Clifton. He's a lounge singer. He plays, Tony Clifton. Oh, somebody popped in, it looks like. Yeah, Tony Clifton. The first Tony Clifton, it was just Andy Kaufman with a wig and a mustache. And then Bob Zamuda started to play he started to play Bob Zamuda, Bob Zamuda was a friend of Andy Kaufman, and he would dress up like Tony Clifton. And you couldn't tell if it was Andy or Tony playing Tony Clifton. And it was kind of funny to watch him, because he was like blatantly rude to people. And that was part of his act, you know. He was just being this rude lounge singer. Tony Clifton. There's a skit where where Tony Clifton plays a judge, and it's really funny. I think I'll put that video up. I like to put that video up on the I keep forgetting what it's called. The community page, yeah. On my community page, I can have Tony Clifton playing the part of a judge, which I think is hilarious. And who else? George Carlin was another one. Who was Louis C.K. Quite a few of his acts, quite a few of his concerts. Who else did I like? I remember watching a lot of Richard Pryor back in my day. Who else did I remember? Watching Gallagher, the guy who smashes watermelons. He had the Sledge-O-Matic. He would advertise the Sledge-O-Matic, I think towards the end of each of his acts. And then there was Carrot Top. Carrot Top was, he actually had engineers. Both of them were kind of into engineering. Like when Gallagher had the crying baby, he had a baby in a high chair, and he was an example of having a baby. And then he told the difference between keeping an eye on the baby and watching the baby. And then there was a story about Carrot Top he was telling. Carrot Top was featured on the Tom Green talk show, and he was talking about a time when he was on the airplane and he just happened to look out the window and they were loading his case, his suitcase. I mean, a trunk. He has a trunk or a couple of trunks that has all of his props in them, and they were loading the props onto another plane, and they had to stop the plane because the pilot was a fan, and he said, yeah, we'll get your trunk for you. So they held up the plane. The plane was leaving, and he just happened to look out the window and see that they were loading up his trunk onto another plane, which would have given me a heart attack. Wait a minute, I don't have my stuff. I think I'm looking at a hawk. Yeah. Either a hawk or a falcon. It's too bad I don't have a camera facing that way. I can have either or, but yeah, I just saw what looks like a falcon. Hawks usually fly with their tails spread out. I think that's the difference between a raven and a crow. I think ravens have the diamond-shaped, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's one of them has a diamond-shaped tail and one of them has a fan-shaped tail. And I'm thinking the one with the diamond-shaped tail is the raven. It's been a while. I see crows here, but not very often. Ravens come in different colors. I've noticed ravens are sometimes not all black. But I know kitty cats are black. We have a black cat that comes by here every so often. So we are 32 minutes in. I've chatted with one person so far. I hope the last video pops up. The last video was yesterday around 4 o'clock, between 3 and 4 o'clock. And it was 2 hours long. A lot happened. And for some reason, it just disappeared. I don't know what happened. Because you have to delete. If you don't want the video, you have to delete it. And I did not delete that last video. But then I've seen some pop up. You know, I'll think the video didn't get entered into the archive. And then later I'll find the video. Kind of bummed me out because it was the one where Francesca came by, the black cat. Francesca the black cat. So I guess this candle does melt. I was thinking this candle some candles evaporate. They just evaporate instead of melt. And this candle has melted. You can see it right there. It's like it's melting. Like the Wicked Witch of the West. And I have a nice flame here. I don't want to let it all burn up all in one sitting. I'll blow it out for now because I'm not roasting any marshmallows. Plus it turns my marshmallow black. There's for some reason, candlelight does that. Candlelight will do that. It'll turn whatever you burn black. Okay. I have my pocket knife. That's what I'll use to scrape up the wax. I'm sitting here with my Santa hat, talking to a person from Saudi Arabia. Yesterday I was talking to somebody from Denmark. So I'm starting to get known. I'm going to be known throughout the world. they can all brag also. They can brag that they spoke from a guy who's sitting roasting marshmallows in the U.S. Some guy in the U.S. roasting marshmallows, talking about accents, talking about what video I'm going to do next. See if I can tell some more dad jokes. I think I got one like. I got one like so far. I noticed there seem to be two tallies. There's the tally of when the stream is live. I get likes for when the stream is live, and then when the stream goes into the archive, it's no longer live, and it gets another set. It resets. So if I get 5 likes during the stream, it resets, so it goes back to 0 again, and then I get likes and views after it's been shoved over to the icons, I mean to the archives. So here I sit with my eyeball, my dragon eyeball ring. It gives me powers. It gives me powers. My dragon eyeball ring. So that's why I like wearing my dragon eyeball ring. It gives me powers. So I'm manifesting marshmallows. I noticed that. I've been manifesting marshmallows. On the show, we put the mellow in marshmallow. We just mellow out and we eat marshmallows. And what's cool about this is you can play it. If you miss the live stream, you can watch it later. And that's usually the case here. Trying to get this thing to work again. It's not working. My marshmallow lighter is not working. It does that from time to time. There we go. It works, and then it doesn't. I need a reliable lighter. Reliable. Bix used to be very reliable. And it clicks like 1 out of 10 times. I saw some at the store, and when I was at the store, there were none of them were refillable. See, this one's refillable. You can fill it up with more butane. And that just winds up more in the landfills. You know, there's all these lighters that wind up in the garbage dump in the landfills. It's like what they need to do. Now it's not working. This is 2 for 2. I like when they use these for lighting those cannons. They have cannons that shoot like potatoes, potato guns. I think I need to just get a cigarette lighter. I like these because I don't burn my fingers. Well, damn it. 2 for 2. Malfunctioning lighters. Crappy lighters. They are rubbish. These lighters are rubbish. Come on, it doesn't even stay lit. It clicks a few times, and then it doesn't stay lit. What if I really needed this? What if I really, truly needed this? It still has fuel in it. I'm going to make this a bitch fest. Bitch fest. I'm going to bitch about this lighter. And we're outdoors. I just want to have roasted marshmallows. There we go. God, good God. Well, I'm just going to give up for now. I had my damn candle lit, but I didn't want to burn it all up. It's my mom's candle, and I don't want to just melt it all away in one sitting. And then I get this piece of crap. This damn lighter. Oh, here we go. It needs more fuel is what it needs. It's almost out, as you can probably see. It's turned up as high as it'll go, too. Oh well, I guess I'll sit here and frown. Have a frown on my face because this damn lighter doesn't work. I was using this for the longest time to light candles in the house. I think that's what it is. If this thing doesn't have pressure behind it, I think that's what it is. When it goes out, when the fuel is almost out, there's not much pressure in it. Oh well. It makes me sad. 2 days in a row I have malfunctions. I can't sit and roast marshmallows. So my brother is informing me that his car, it's going to cost over $300 to fix. And he was saying something about the parts place. I just pray that his truck works because he really depends on that truck. I really pray that his truck does, because it was having trouble with the alternator. And if the alternator is not good, the battery doesn't charge. And if the battery doesn't charge, the alternator is not good. And he switched out 2 separate alternators. He thought the alternator was the problem. And the second alternator he put in, there was still a problem. So then now it's becoming a wire issue. I think it's the motherboard. The motherboard controls everything that I know of. I just hope his truck works. He's put so much into that truck. He's had it for a long time. He's put so much because he has to go to Pull It. I don't know if they still make parts for that truck anymore. So that's what my prayer is, that it sounds like he's getting good news. I'll have to call him after the live stream, or after the stream. 42 minutes have come and gone. My damn lighter. I think maybe the spring. Because I think the spring that pushes it forward. Now it's not even shooting flames out. I'll get this thing working. I think there's a spring, I believe, that pushes it out. This thing is pretty old, I guess. I like to get a brand new one. I love it when the luxury of being able to just light my marshmallows on fire. Fire! Fire! So I hope this show is fun. It's hard to do a good show when you have no one to talk to, no one to chat with, share ideas. And I'll have more ideas for you. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I'm gonna make a snappy today. Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, would sing that song. I think it was the end of his show. He would always sing the neighbor song first, I think. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. It took me a while before I caught on to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I think Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood had come on after Sesame Street. I was all jazzed about Sesame Street, and then I would change the channel when Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood started. And then as I got older, I started appreciating Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know, he had puppets, he had the trolley, he had the little trolley that would take you into the neighborhood. I know I've mentioned this on other streams that I've done. A few more people might be watching soon. When I went to get my blood work done, or the lab, they always tried to change the terminology. We're gonna do the, hi there. We're gonna do like an ad. What's an ad? I just got distracted. Somebody said, "Hi Santa, hi Santa." Hello, little girl. So somebody got timid. They were there and then they're gone. Don't be timid. I'm just a guy in a Santa hat. I'm just a 55-year-old guy in a Santa hat trying to roast marshmallows with a candle that... What I need is a Bunsen burner. I like to have a Bunsen burner with a huge propane tank. That's what I need. I need a propane tank and a Bunsen burner. And then just have a hose going from the propane tank to the Bunsen burner. And then I can roast some marshmallows. I won't have to worry about... Or what I can do is bring out the refill canister. Whenever I start to run out of fuel for my lighter, I can have the butane. I like the Bunsen burner better. Get a Bunsen burner and a huge tank. An acetylene. That's what I should do. Get like an acetylene. Get a huge tank. Hide it somewhere. Get like the oxygen and acetylene. That's what I used to use in high school. Arc welding was taught, but we mostly used the acetylene torch. You had the oxygen and you had the acetylene. And you had the igniter. The igniter would strike a spark. You turn on the acetylene, and then the oxygen would regulate the flame. In high school, I was doing that in high school. I was learning how to weld. Welding pays really well. Well. Welding pays well. If I would have focused on learning how to weld, I probably would have owned a home by now. Learning how to weld. Wait a second. Wait a tick. The flame starts, but only for a while. There we go. That's all I get. Yeah, it's running out of fuel. That's what's happening. Running out of fuel. And here I sit with no flame. Oh well, I guess I can stop now. I'm already feeling the buzz. The marshmallow buzz. I could put the lid on here so I don't evaporate, or... I notice the marshmallows get dry if you don't... Yeah, they get kind of dry if you don't put a lid on the container. I think this is Buddies, made in the USA, a marshmallow container, a container to keep your marshmallows in, and a skewer, shish kebab skewer. I got to remember to take this to the sink. marshmallow. I could wash it the unsanitary way. Won't you be? Please won't you be my neighbor? I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Here we are, kids. We're just sitting here with the bell, sitting here ringing a bell, passing the time away, singing Mr. Rogers' theme song, an outro song, intro and outro. I don't have my watch, so I can't tell. I'll just wait for my friend to walk by. Whenever she walks by, I know it's 3 o'clock. So I must be, well, at least I have my beverage container. I have my container in which my Snapple jar. Snapple, they used to sell Snapple in glass jars. And I guess glass got to be too expensive. Glass you could just use over and over again. You just sterilize it. End of story, you know. What they should have done was stuck with the glass bottles, get the glass bottles, and then just sterilize them, you know, and then refill them. But these end up in the ocean. That's why I'm reusing this. I'm reusing this bottle. I'm saving it from going into the ocean. I'm saving it from going into a landfill or a dump, a garbage dump. I remember when I was young, I would go to the garbage dump. My brothers and I and some friends, we would go to the dump and see what we could find at the dump. Sometimes we'd find stuff that people threw away. It was like a treasure hunt, you know. And then I didn't realize how dangerous it would be going to the city dump. Portola was a pretty small town, and they had a dump. That's where all the garbage trucks would take the garbage to this dump. And I remember we'd march up this hill. It was a paved road that goes up a hill, and on the top of the hill there was the city dump. And we'd go there and just look through all the garbage and find things. It was amazing what you'd find, because people throw away things. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Delicioso. Nothing like a marshmallow, as long as you can keep your lighter going. I noticed that. I went to the store today. Today I went to the grocery store. They had lighters like this, and they were like $4 each. $3 to $4 for a lighter like this. And you couldn't refill them. It's just another thing that winds up in the landfill, that winds up in the garbage dump. And it's like, you can't reuse them. So anyway, this has got to go in the garbage. This is going in the garbage, because it's not clicking like it used to. I guess I can use it to make a potato gun. I think what it is the spring is starting to fail. There's a spring that you push, and then the spring that pushes the button back out again. And I think the one that you push in is probably tangled up in here. Well, hopefully somebody's going to join. I'm just sitting here playing with my lighter, hoping it works. I'm down to 2 dots. I'm down to two pathetic dots. So hopefully somebody will join in a chat with me. It usually takes about an hour, I've noticed, an hour before people start noticing that I'm live. And I've also pre-scheduled. When I pre-schedule, it's the same thing. You think if you pre-schedule, people would know, oh, this guy starts at 4 o'clock. I'm going to be ready at 4 o'clock. Instead of just a spontaneous, Today was kind of spontaneous because I wasn't sure when I'd be back from the blood work. Like I was saying earlier, they try to change the wordage. We're going to draw blood, and then they say we're going to do blood work, and then they say we're going to draw lab. And it's like, oh, you got to draw lab? You going to draw lab? Okay. It still involves a needle and blood coming out of your arm. So I bought myself a lollipop. Actually, I brought 4 lollipops, 2 for my mom, one for my mom, one for the nurse. And then I had 2, one for myself, one for the nurse. And it took 2 nurses to finally, because they call me a hard stick. I'm what's known as a hard stick. I've got, I guess, tiny veins or deep veins. So they have to poke deep in there to get to a vein. And they have a needle called a butterfly needle, which you hardly feel anything. And the lady said, I don't need a butterfly needle. And it's like, the first one hurt like hell. And she couldn't get any blood. She poked me with that needle, couldn't get any blood. And then the second lady came in, and it would kind of was funny and gross at the same time, where she goes, I said, well, you should use a butterfly needle, because the butterfly needle, it doesn't hurt as much. She goes, I don't need a butterfly needle. And she rubbed the rubbing alcohol on to sterilize the area. And then she poked, and it didn't hurt that much. So I guess she found a certain way to poke me with that other needle that wasn't as needle. And the second lady, I wish I had her first, because the second lady didn't hurt. Didn't hurt. The first lady hurt a lot, and she couldn't get any blood, which made me even more anxious, because it's like, okay, this hurt bad, and now you got to go again. You got to try again to actually get blood. She says, oh, I'm going to have to take this. It's like, okay. So anyway, that was my traumatic. So I bought a bigger lollipop. When I went to the grocery store, I bought myself a bigger lollipop than the one that I picked out for myself. I made sure it was a red lollipop. It was, I got myself a red lollipop to signify, to dry the tears. I got a red lollipop to symbolize the blood work. And then I took the red lollipop. But then I handed my red lollipop to the nurse that didn't hurt me with the needle. I had handed the first lollipop to the nurse, hoping she wouldn't hurt me with the needle. And she hurt me anyway. That's funny, like the executioner's axe, people would pay the executioner extra money to sharpen his axe before he beheaded someone. In the medieval times, or anyways, there was a medieval times and the Renaissance, but anyways, there was the guy who chops off heads, the executioner. They would pay. Really? I don't need interruptions. You can leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So anyway, and there were people, the people being executed, they would struggle to be the first in line. because the the axe was sharp then. They wanted to be there when the axe was sharp. Because they were saying that about King Louis of France. He was so he was so fat that it took a few times to remove his head. He had such a fat neck. It took a few times to remove King Louis's head. And so anyways, yeah, that I'm glad that they don't do that anymore. You know, I think I'm running out of battery power. What else should we talk about? Talking about beheading people? Talking about blood work? I notice if I move my head too much, the camera needs time to catch up. So if I keep my head as still as I can, then the camera doesn't need to catch up. I'm here, everyone. I'm here. And the battery is not dead yet. I still have 2 dots left. I need to charge up this battery, but it still should be working. Let's see if I can get closer. If I get closer, it might work better. Kind of looks like it. The closer I am to the camera, the more it can sense me, because I know it senses me, my movements. It senses my actions. So, what am I being distracted by? The fact that I have no one to chat with? I'd have more cavities if I got myself a lollipop for every time I had no one to chat with. I'm going to put some of my stop motion work on my community page. On my community page, there will be, there's some claymation that I did. There's some cartooning that I did. And you can check it all out on my community page. It's amazing how few people have seen it, you know, because videos aren't as popular as shorts. I know when I do a short, I get views right away. But when I do a video, when I make a video, it gets hardly any views. It's always fun, more fun when I can chat with people, you know, because then I know where their mind is at. You know, I can interject some humor or interject some cheerful banter, you know, cheerful interactions. And it's hard when I'm just looking at I'm just looking at my face, and I'm watching my face. My mouth is moving slower than my words. It's kind of like one of those movies, a foreign movie, when their mouth moves and another language is dubbed over that language. I used to always see those foreign movies, you know, it's in English, but they're speaking in their native language. So I guess I'm attracting a few people. I think maybe by this time next year, December of next year, I might have more more people viewing. Because sometimes it's around 100 when I watch other people when they do a live stream, other YouTubers, they'll have at least 90 to 100 people, or somewhere around there, just doing their live. I notice that they don't even look at the chats anymore. There's so many people writing things in the chats that they'll say hi, you know, that's about it. They'll say hi. Hi Snoopy Dog 257, or hi Brickaback 5529. And that's all they say to the people who are chatting. And a lot of times it's people chatting with each other, you know. Like Melee Baby, Melee Baby. She's a guitar player. She plays guitar and sings, and write songs during her live streams. She asks people to write songs with her, and yeah, it's like there's not a lot of chatting. People will request sometimes. She'll read the requests, and so I'm kind of learning how to do that. But sometimes I'll only get like one person, so it's easier to focus on that one person and read their chats and actually communicate. Sometimes it's just commentary, Q&A, or maybe I could bring my puppet. I'll bring a puppet. I can bring my puppet to play with. See if you can ask Bobo some questions. Call it Bobo's Q&A. We could have him sing some songs. Sing some Metallica songs. Or tell some jokes. We'll have Bobo tell a joke while we all roast marshmallows. And then I'll have to be careful not to get marshmallow on Bobo, because I don't think he's machine washable. What was funny was I was thinking about ways to make a puppet. Like, should I make a sock puppet? Should I make a thumb puppet? You know, and then I realized I have a puppet. I don't need to make a puppet. I already have a puppet. It's a big furry puppet. And Lindsay Farmer, I think her name is Lindsay Farmer. She has a plethora of puppets. And then Jeff Dunham has a plethora of puppets. The puppets seem to attract a crowd. I've noticed they really can draw a lot of attention. Just knowing how to work a puppet, especially ventriloquists. A puppet. Just bring puppets on the stage and master those puppets. And so maybe if I try my hand at puppets. So it's 1 hour and 7 minutes. One like. One person chatted with me from Saudi Arabia. So maybe our friends from the Netherlands or our friends from Denmark might pop in. Our friends from Canada. It's a small, small world. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. It's a world of hope and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small, small world. They always have to sing it 3 times. Have you noticed that? I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad. See, it's 3s. I always do it in 3s. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? There's a commercial that has that. Mamacita. It has a llama. I think it's a llama or an alpaca. Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? Mamacita, ¿dónde está Santa Claus? I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. That song followed me. I was in a grocery store. I was in a store. I don't remember if it was a grocery store, but it was. I was in a store and I heard Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, and then I get into my car and I turn on the car and the radio was playing Feliz Navidad, and I thought, wow, something weird is going on here. This song was in the store. Now it's in my car. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Sometimes that happens, you know. You'll be, a song will follow you. Oh no, they say he's got to go, 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 Godzilla. Godzilla, Godzilla, Godzilla. I saw Blue Oyster Cult. I didn't see them, but I could hear them playing. It was at the Sunrise Mall. See, in the parking lot of the Sunrise Mall on Sunrise Boulevard, they would erect bleachers, and they would charge for your seat in the bleachers, and they would have different groups come and play. And one of those bands was Blue Oyster Cult, and they played Godzilla. And I remember this kid. There was a kid. I was sitting at the coffee shop, and I could hear Blue Oyster Cult playing Godzilla, Godzilla, Godzilla. And this kid just wouldn't quiet down. It's like, kid, I just want to hear the song. Shut up, you know. Godzilla, Godzilla. Oh no, there goes Tokyo, go, go, Godzilla. That's our pronunciation of that. Our pronunciation is Godzilla. But in Japanese, it's Gojira. Gojira. It's like monster whale or something like that. I was watching a documentary about Godzilla and how the invention of Godzilla, how they came up with Godzilla. And I felt sorry for the guy who was in the suit, you know. The guy who was in the suit, having to sweat it out in that heavy suit. I'm a fan of Godzilla. I like Godzilla versus Megalon. Godzilla versus Megalon, yeah. With Jaguar is the robot. There was a robot that was made by some scientists, and the robot could make himself large, just magically. And Jaguar was the same height as Godzilla, and he was helping Godzilla fight two other monsters. And I still have a copy of that. I had to get it on eBay. I have a copy of Godzilla versus Megalon. Some people say it was a stupid movie, but I think it's a great movie. It's like Godzilla's got an ally, and it's a robot. A robot that knows karate or judo. I think he was using judo. He was kicking monster ass right alongside of Godzilla. They were taking turns beating up the monsters. So it looks like somebody's with us. Someone has joined us. We're an hour and 1 minute. Only one like. I guess there's only one like. Maybe it's just a popper-inner, somebody who's popped in. We still have some battery pack power, so I guess we can relax a bit. Hello. You were with us yesterday, weren't you? I'm pretty sure I recognize. We're just chatting and chilling. I don't have many chatters today. You can always watch this from the beginning, at your leisure, on your schedule. Oh, someone left a like. Thank you for the like. Muchas gracias por el like. Спасибо большое. Okay. Well, that's good. You're checking in. You're among the chosen. How does it feel to be among the chosen? The ones who get to watch my stream. Not too many people get to watch my stream. So, how are you and where are you from? I was talking to somebody from Saudi Arabia earlier. It's nighttime over there. Great! Great! Isn't that great? That's one of George's. He talks about, great! Isn't that great? Have a nice day. What if I... Why are you telling me what kind of a day to have? I'm sitting here with my Santa Claus hat on. I got my white gloves. Howdy ho! That's one of my favorites. Oh wow, Southern England. Cool. Now I get to brag. I get to brag that somebody from Southern England is chatting with me. Somebody from Saudi Arabia was chatting with me. Yesterday there were some people from Denmark up there in that part of the world. Southern England. I was just talking about the cuisine in Britain or in England. Talking about fish and chips, bangers and mash, scones. I was talking about a restaurant that would serve that. It was a British restaurant. So it's like you can be in England without leaving the U.S. It's always fun to have authentic food. Authentic. I remember a pub. There was an Irish pub in a town that I lived in, or that I visit. It was called Old Sacramento, and they had an Irish pub, and it was a lot of fun. Shepherd's pie, yes, I have. My dad used to make shepherd's pie. He would, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a meat-filled pie, yeah. Shepherd's pie. We'd have that for dinner every once in a while. For dinner, we'd have shepherd's pie. He would use a toothpick sometimes to check if it was done all the way. He would make breads sometimes, and that's how he would tell that it was done. He would stick a toothpick into the bread, and if it came up doughy, it wasn't done yet. I wish I could say the same for sausage. I hate it when I cook sausage for so long, like the Italian sausage. I cook it for so long and the center is still red. It's like, I want my sausage to be cooked all the way through. Yeah, Italian sausage. That's very good. It's very spicy. Sometimes it's spicy. Sometimes they put garlic in there. But then I have to watch how much sodium I have. Sodium can really make me, could cause problems. What else is yummy? There was different pies. I like pies. I like cherry pie, apple pie, lemon meringue pie. All the stuff that's so naughty to eat. Lemon meringue. I think that was one of my favorites. If lemon meringue pie is made right. Some people like to cottage pie. Isn't that like a fruit cake? I think it was called, yeah, cottage pie. Fruit cake seems to be a very common thing around the holidays. I see fruit cakes. It looks like a big brick, a little brick with like candy in it. They call it fruit cake. And then angel food cake. My mother brought home some angel food cake. She wants to make like a strawberry sauce for it. I think angel food cake is okay by itself. Just put a little bit of frosting, chocolate frosting or vanilla frosting. There's so many different kinds of frosting. Duncan Hines, Pillsbury. I used to work in a grocery store, and they had a whole aisle dedicated to frosting. Or one side of the aisle was all cakes, cake mixes, and candles for birthday cakes. And then they have those candles that you can't blow out. Those, they're gag candles. You can prank someone. Just put a bunch of candles on there that don't blow out. They just relight. You think you're blowing them out, and then they relight. There's a lot of bloopers, that I see. A lot of videos, people pushing their friend's face in the cake. That's pretty mean, to do something like that on someone's birthday. Push your face in a cake. Or people trying to carry a cake. They're trying to walk with a cake, and they trip and fall. Especially wedding cakes, those multi-layer wedding cakes. It's got the bride and the groom on top. Oh, it's okay, cottage pie. Mashed potatoes, okay. Cheese on top. Ah, that's good. Cheese on top. That's what I like. Especially when I have a bowl of chili. I get like sharp cheese and just sprinkled cheese, the grated cheese. Cheese is good to eat all by itself too. Yummy, yummy cheese. And then making cheese dip with a little bit of jalapeno. You could take like, all you need to do is take the cheese and add a little bit of milk and put it into a saucepan, and the cheese melts, and it doesn't become a solid. And then you can just chop up little jalapeno peppers, and oh wow, thinking about it makes me hungry. Cheese. So shepherd's pie, and what was it, meat pie or cottage pie? Cottage pie, shepherd's pie, they're kind of the same. It's just, I like roast beef, or pot roast. Pot roast is really good. You can take pot roast and dip bread into it. Soups are always good too. I like a good soup. Chicken soup, chicken noodle soup. Or sometimes a beef stew is really good. I think that's what we're having tonight is beef stew. It's got potatoes and pieces of beef and a gravy. And then you can get like a bun, a big bun, and just dip it into the gravy. Oh yes. That's a good way to gain a couple of pounds just talking about gravy and shepherd's pie, cottage pie, corn dogs. That's what I forgot to get. When I went to the grocery store today, I wanted to get some corn dogs. Those are good when you put them in the toaster oven. If you cook them just right, they're so good. I usually use like mustard and barbecue sauce. I'll squeeze some mustard into the plate and then barbecue sauce, and I'll alternate, I wonder what, and also like the Dijon mustard, the different kinds of mustard. Hello! You're also from the UK, aren't you? You're like, yeah, big speaker man. Big speaker man. I was thinking of a reggae song. Big speaker man in the house. I went to reggae by the poolside one time. This Jamaican friend of mine invited me to reggae. It was a reggae concert, and it was by a pool. Of course, reggae by the poolside. It was really good. I mean, it was good entertainment. They had food. They had little necklaces and things like that. Souvenirs from Jamaica. Reggae by the poolside. It was in the summertime. I remember that. He said, "Hey, come over to this hotel," and parked my car, walked up, and there was this big hotel pool, and then they start playing the reggae. So I'm getting some messages. Facebook always tells me they have a friend suggestion. You have to go? Okay. Goodbye. Thank you for saying goodbye. So now we have Big Speaker Man in the house. We're talking about yummy foods, things that we like to eat. And I'm staring off into space. The last person I talked to was 9 o'clock where they were. So it's probably around 9 o'clock there, at least 8 or 9 o'clock. So I got 3 likes. I've done this for, I think I'll make this a 2-hour show. Why not? Make it a 2-hour show. I still have battery power. I'm going to have to throw away all the lighters that I have, the ones that aren't working, so I don't get depressed. I don't want to be depressed. So they made another Evil Dead movie, Evil Dead Rise. I haven't seen it. I guess people never get tired of a certain genre. Not so much a genre, but an idea. That's all you need for a story is a good idea. Because Star Wars was a big deal for a while. It all started in 1977. 1977 was the first Star Wars movie, and they're still making them today. Now Disney has a hand in it. They made a whole area in Disneyland that was dedicated to Star Wars. My brother went there, my youngest brother, he went there and he constructed a lightsaber. He was dressed as Obi-Wan for a couple of Halloweens ago. I think it was last year's Halloween. We had a Halloween party and my brother came down and his wife dressed like Bette Midler's character for Hocus Pocus. Yeah, she was dressed like Bette Midler's character. I forget what her name was. She was one of the Sanderson sisters. One Halloween, my niece was dressed as a barbarian, and her daughter was dressed as a barbarian. So we had some barbarians. Yesterday, or this Halloween, I was dressed as a magician. I was a magician. I had my top hat, my wand, and my cape. My mother was the bunny rabbit. She was dressed as a bunny rabbit. I said, bunny rabbit. A bunny rabbit. What's up, Doc? So we're just sitting here. That's all we're doing, sitting here. I got my Santa hat on to be festive, to be in the spirit of Christmas. And then next will be New Year. I think I'll have a New Year thing. We can all talk about our resolutions. They say they advertise smoking, they advertise cigarettes more around New Year's because people are trying to take on resolutions. They're trying to, resolutions. So they try to sell cigarettes more during the New Year's. New Year's. And they don't let people adopt black cats around Halloween just to protect the black cats. That's probably a good idea. All right, I'm here. What's good that I was able to chat with a few people. One person from Southern England. One person from Saudi Arabia. And another person who is Big Speaker Man. He likes to come in for a short while. For just a little bit. And here I am with my melted wax. I have 3 likes. 3 different people left me a like. And I guess this is what I do. It stops me from crying. Sometimes I need to do something just to stop myself from crying. Crying or pouting. Crying, pouting, or feeling sad. I like to do. I don't want to pout, cry, or feel sad. So I do live streams. Because everybody I know works until it's Saturday and Sunday, and then they don't want to do much on Saturday or Sunday. So I do more live streams. That's my answer. My my remedy for feeling sad. My remedy for frowning and crying. I just do a live stream. I think of something to do, or I try to come up with jokes, original jokes. Most of my jokes that I do shorts are original jokes, and then I go on other channels and I look for dad jokes, and then I repeat the dad jokes. Sometimes it's just a matter of what mood I'm in. If I'm in a good mood, I can come up with some pretty funny routines or funny bits. I can call my shorts Ed's Funny Bits. Take a look at Ed's Funny Bits. And then I can just sit and daydream and stare off into space. Play with a Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube. I remember that in the early 80s. It was such a popular toy. A lot of people had Rubik's Cubes. I think before that it was the hula hoop. There was a hula hoop, Rubik's Cube, Pet Rocks. That was a great idea. Somebody made lots of money off the Pet Rock. And then there were Treasure Trolls. I remember Treasure Trolls. And the Smurfs. A couple of years back there were some Smurf movies. Then there was E.T., Gremlins. Before that was the creature from the Black Lagoon. I remember one time it was 3D. There was a television feature. They featured the creature from the Black Lagoon, and you had to go and buy your 3D glasses. And it was such a big deal. I was so excited about it. I got my 3D glasses. There were those paper, blue on one side and red on the other. And you unfold the paper 3D glasses. They also had a Kung Fu movie. But I remember the creature from the Black Lagoon. They made it a 3D feature. And you could watch it on television. If you had a color television, you just go down to the store and get your 3D glasses and wait for the feature to start. And then you put on your 3D glasses at home and just stare at the screen and watch the 3D effect. And then there was that Kung Fu movie. There was a Kung Fu movie that was in 3D. I think it was called The Flying Guillotine. The Flying Guillotine. I think they made a big deal about it. Go down to the store and get your 3D glasses. Then you get your 3D glasses, and I think it was a Friday night. They showed the Kung Fu movie. And then there was, in Hawaii, they had a show, Checkers and Pogo Po. And Checkers was a guy who had Keiki TV Pal. Okay, Keiki in Hawaiian means kid. Yeah, Keiki in Hawaiian means kid, and they'd call it Keiki TV Pal, and a person they would be on the phone, and they would say, "Pal, pal," and the video game would fire each time he said "pal," and they would see what score they can get. The kid would be on the phone with Checkers. I think that guy's name was Checkers or something like that, and he would just say, he would be on the phone with Checkers, and he would be saying "pal, pal," and that's when the video game would fire. They called it Keiki TV Pal. Checkers and Pogo Po. You could do a YouTube search about them. I'm pretty sure they talk about Checkers and Pogo Po. Pogo Po was just a guy who knew how to jump on a pogo stick. That's how he got the nickname Pogo Po. What's up? I remember you from yesterday. From the Netherlands. I was talking about TV shows. They had The Creature from the Black Lagoon was a 3D feature one time. We all had to run down to the store and get some 3D glasses, those paper folding glasses. Sometimes they have red and green. No, red and green or red and blue. In my day, it was red and blue. I noticed sometimes when you go to Universal Studios, you have to put on these glasses for the 3D effect. Three-dimensional. And then they had movies for a while. I remember watching a few movies that were in 3D. Spy Kids 3 was in 3D. Right before you went to sit down in the theater to watch the cinema, they would hand you a pair of glasses. Saw was another one. There was a Saw movie. I got the glasses because it was the last Saw movie. And I think Final Destination, I think they did a 3D version. But I remember that. The Saw series, they did, I think the last episode of the series, they handed us 3D glasses. And they were monogrammed. You know, they were like, what do they call those? They're commemorative. Yeah, they were commemorative 3D glasses. And I kept them, and then I had to move, and I lost them in the move. So, yeah. Some people have museums. They dedicate their house. Like Tom Savini, he's that special effects guy, and his whole house has all these creatures that he made for the movies that he did special effects for. I think American Werewolf in London was one of them. Friday the 13th. That was one of his movies. Yeah, check out Tom Savini. You could do like there's the Grimm Collective. They're a show. It's a man and a woman who go on tours, and those tours, they go to like grave sites and places where crimes were committed, and they also go to filming locations. There was a couple of the Goonies. The Goonies was one of the filming locations that they visited. The Grimm Collective. That's what I used to always. I'm gonna have to go back to watching them. They're pretty interesting. They go to haunted locations. They went to Scotland, and they went to some haunted locations. They did some tours of Scotland. That's always nice when you can't go somewhere. You can just watch someone else. There's also the Carpetbagger. If you ever watch the Carpetbagger, he does a lot of fun tours. He usually goes to like theme parks. My mom's leaving. She's got to deliver some Christmas gifts. She's got some friends in the neighborhood. She went and got some Christmas gifts for them, which is kind of nice. And then we've got Christmas Day. I think there's still a few more days. They say it's like 5 shopping days till Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yeah, watching. Who else do I watch? I was talking about the Slingshot channel yesterday. He's a guy in Germany, and he he does slingshots and bows and crossbows, and he always shows how he makes them, and then he tests them out. Anything that will shoot an arrow. He doesn't always work. He doesn't work with guns. He uses mostly like one time he made a crossbow that was a rapid fire crossbow. He does a lot. He uses drills. He takes drills and he makes it to where the drill powers his contraption, and the contraption will shoot off lots of arrows. Or sometimes he has some friends come on and test out weapons that he's made. And then there's a knife thrower. I think he's from France. He's like a world champion knife thrower. He can throw just about anything. It's amazing to watch this guy. He was throwing chopsticks one time. During COVID, he had some chopsticks, and he had like a pizza container, and he'd set up the pizza container and he'd throw chopsticks at it. Cards. Some people can throw cards really well. They take a deck of playing cards and they can throw them. I've seen videos of pretty amazing stunts. Then they have the ninja throwing stars. Some of those ninja stars are huge. They'll have like 5-inch points on them. I have a few throwing stars. I think maybe tomorrow I'll bring them out. They're fun to play with. If you have a big enough target, you can hit the target with the throwing stars. And then my blowgun. I need to bring my blowgun. Take it out of the trunk of my car. I have a ball that I shoot at. It's a plastic ball, kind of like a wiffle ball. And I throw it out into the yard and I see if I can hit it with my blow darts. It's a 50 caliber blow dart or blowgun. You can probably take down a squirrel or a chipmunk or a little birdie, an unsuspecting bird. Most of those are just poison delivery. You know, the dart itself isn't lethal, but if you put poison on it, I think in the Congo and the Amazon, they'll use like poison arrow frogs. Sometimes it's some kind of a sap from a tree. They put the tips into poison, and they hunt baboons. They'll use poison because they had a baboon problem, and they decided, well, we'll just eat the baboons. And that became part of their food, you know. Their staple food was baboons. Baboons have very sharp teeth, and they're a lot stronger than you'd expect. Baboons and chimpanzees. Chimpanzees travel in packs. I've seen some scary videos about chimpanzees. They will eat your face if you're not careful. If you bring a cake to a chimpanzee, you have to bring a cake to all the chimpanzees because they'll get jealous. That's what this guy made a mistake doing that. He wanted to bring a cake to one of his chimpanzee friends, and all the other chimpanzees got jealous, and the rest is horrible. They say that, I think I've talked about mooses before. They say don't feed a moose because the moose will see another person, and if that person doesn't feed them, they get mad. Then they talk about porcupines. Their quills are dangerous. Once that quill gets in, it's hard to pull them out. They have to kind of work their way through. It's kind of like an arrow, like a medieval arrow. When they made those arrow tips to where they go through and you can't pull them out, you have to push them all the way through and then break off the arrow. Some people saw them off. You know, they push the arrow all the way through and then they saw off the head or the tip of the arrow. And then those slings. They're those slings that are, they call them Bavarian slings or shepherd slings. They say those slings are very powerful. They have the same velocity as a firearm. And they used to use them in the Roman times. they would actually write things on the projectile, something like "take that." They're kind of built like whips, you know. When you sling them and let the projectile out, it makes a popping noise. I've always wanted to get some fiber, you know. I could get some fiber and weave it together. I made one out of yarn. I made a Valerian sling out of yarn, but I don't think it would hold up to a lot of abuse. So I can get like some twine. One of these days I'll get me some twine. Then I can braid a Valerian sling. Then I have to go to a nice open area. One person was making the projectiles uh, out of clay. He was making these little football-shaped projectiles, and then he put a hole in it, and the hole would make a buzzing sound. And they say they did that back in Roman times. They just had a bunch of people with slings. You know, that was part of their arsenal. Not only did they have a sword and a shield and a gladius, they had some guys with these Valerian slings. And they were used a lot in combat. There are stories about the projectile being embedded in people. That'd be very scary. You hear that buzz, and then you don't hear hardly anything. You just get hit with the projectile, and they're accurate too. They say if you put in a lot of practice, you could hit things from quite a distance and with a lot of impact. And the slings, they vary in size, you know, for close quarters and then for long distances. They would always have one in their belt. Yep. Then there was the gladius. I like the Spartans. They had the phallus. It was sharp on both sides. There was a side they used to stab with, and then there was the other end was for the enemy. If they were laying on the ground, they would make sure the enemy was dead. So they would stab, and then they would use the other end to get the people who were laying down. Because some people would play dead. You know, there were stories about Greeks being stabbed by people who were playing dead. So that's why they just made sure that as they marched forward, they would stab the corpses to make sure they weren't playing dead. Warfare is brutal, isn't it? Warfare. It's either them or you, I guess, on the battlefield. And then the crossbow. The crossbow was deemed a work of the devil. I forget which pope it was, because crossbows were such good killing weapons. Uh-oh, I think I'm losing people. I'm acting too much like a professor, I guess. If you profess too much, you will lose chatters. Well, at least somebody said hi. A few people said hi. We're almost 2 hours in. I think that's what I'll push for, 2 hours. If I can do 2 hours, then there'll be a lot of viewing time. Hopefully I can keep it interesting for 2 whole hours with a Santa Claus hat on, talking about shepherd's pie, talking about cottage pie, talking about bangas and mash, fish and chips, properly prepared scones, and we'll interview somebody from the Netherlands. You know, what things do they eat in the Netherlands? What's their cuisine? Is it seafood or land food? In Japan, there's a lot of seafood because they're mostly on islands out there. The islands of Japan. There's a lot of food that comes from the ocean. Hawaii, I'm pretty sure, has a lot of ocean food. They have that poi. Poi is something that's made from the taro root. So I'm down to 0 again. 0. You know what? They say 0 is still a number. That's what a mathematician once said. 0 is a number. So even if it's 0, it's still a number. 1 is the loneliest number. So I don't know how long people will tolerate me babbling on, talking about weapons and warfare and beheading people. Talk about our favorite foods and favorite comedians. I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm pretty much winging it. This is unscripted. This is all just off the cuff, on the fly. It's all imagination. We don't talk about anything particular. That's what we do at Eddie's Funhouse. We try to roast marshmallows with dysfunctional lighters. We put on our rings. We wear our fancy rings. So that's what I can do when I can wear my ring on the outside of the glove. It fits my ring finger. There was a time when this finger was the only finger I could fit rings onto, and then I started losing weight. And when I lost weight, my rings now fit on my middle finger. And I've just fallen in love with some of these fancy dinner rings. So I got 3 likes, and I'm back to 0, possibly 1. Oh, I got to use my fart gun. I don't think I used my fart gun yet. I remember pulling it out. So I guess I have kind of a holiday. We did our last things today. The last things we needed to do are done. We had to get our lab work done. My mother and me went to get our lab work done. Being poked with needles. And then we had lollipops. I made it a point to have lollipops after the pain, the joy after the pain. Well, I hope this has been interesting and fun. 1 hour and 53 minutes. I don't have my watch with me. I'm looking at my wrist and I don't have a watch on. I guess we'll wait for the trolley to take us back home from the neighborhood of make-believe. Somewhere in the neighborhood of make-believe. Well, it's kind of lonely today. I had at least 3 people. I think 3 people came. 4 people. We have an airplane. It looks like our maple tree has dropped all of its leaves. Now we're just sitting outside. You're probably watching on your personal computer or on your tablet or on your phone. I'm glad I have my YouTube app so I can exercise my obsessive compulsive disorder by checking my shorts every hour on the hour, every minute on the minute to see how many views I've received, to see how many people have commented. So now I guess we just coast through the holiday. We coast through the holidays. They say Hanukkah is ended. Hanukkah's already over. We're waiting on Christmas to get here. People in the Netherlands don't have to wait until the 25th. They celebrate Christmas on the 24th. We'll just have to watch the skies for Santa's sleigh. Santa's sleigh. We'll watch the skies for Santa's sleigh. This was working so well. I'm so upset with this. I've had it for a while, and I guess when it gets to a certain... Anyway, now it's not even clicking. It's not clicking anymore. What good is a lighter that doesn't click anymore? If it's not Scottish, it's crap. I guess, let me know in the comments how am I doing? Because some people are saying that I'm doing that they like the stream, and I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to relax a little bit too. Sometimes I play instruments. Sometimes I try to interact with everyone. I'm not all jokes. Maybe if I play my harmonica, I will get some views. I will get some people to chat with. Today is Wednesday. I guess I need more propaganda. I need more press. I need to get the word out there that I'm doing this, that we are doing this together. That's more for Halloween. Frosty the Snowman. Frosty the Snowman. My leg. My leg. Someone's here. Identify yourself. Are you friend or foe? Who goes there? At least leave a like. Come on, at least leave a like. I still have 2 dots left. You go down in history, Rudolph. It's all about favor, you know. They wouldn't let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Then all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history." Along with Till the Hun, along with Thomas Edison. likes. Wow. 4 likes and it looks like I have a viewer. This is the best Christmas ever. This is the best Christmas ever. The chat feature is working today, so feel free to enter something in. Yay! I need to cool down my harmonica. My harmonica is getting a little hot. I'm heating it up. My breath makes the harmonica hot. See if I can let it cool down a bit. There we go. Howdy ho! Howdy ho! Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh. Talking Pooh is where I draw the line. So here I sit with my 4 likes. I think I'm going for a 3-hour show today. It is now, I've sat here for 3 hours. No, 2 hours. 2 hours and 7 minutes. Oh my. Sitting here comfortably in my comfy chair. Comfy chair. Comfy chair. Guess I can, since I'm sitting up, I can adjust the camera. Adjust. It is just to adjust. I am here with you and I'm here for you. Hassa wafana. Hassa wafana. Oh, goodness. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. I'm your host, Eddie. I'm your host, Eddie. Hoppa-tootie, bless my soul. I really love that rock and roll. Hoppa-tootie, bless my soul. Hot patootie, I really love that rock and roll. So I trust you're listening and doing something. That's what I hear a lot. I'm listening to you while I do my homework. I'm listening to you while I pack. Whilst I pack for my trip. I had one person who was going off to jiu-jitsu lessons. I wonder how that went. How did that go, your jiu-jitsu lessons? Your Japanese-style martial art. Jiu-jitsu is really good for one-on-one. You really want to kick somebody's butt. Jiu-jitsu. Then there's Taekwondo. If you want to learn how to kick somebody in the temple, that's Taekwondo. I heard Taekwondo was invented to kick people off their horses. They wanted to be able to kick a guy off his horse. That's how they come up with the style of Taekwondo. I don't know if that's true or not. Sounds like it would work. You just do a flying kick and knock somebody off their horse. Yeah, Taekwondo is mostly kicks. And then there's Kenpo. Kenpo uses kicks. Then there's Thai boxing. They kick banana trees until their legs are really tough, like that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And then there's the Filipino martial arts, Kali. I've always been interested in martial arts. It seems like each nation has their own style, their own techniques. I think Jamaica has a martial art. It's mostly, it looks like dancing, but it's actually a martial art. They made a movie about it. They made a movie about it. A Jamaican style of martial arts. They look like they're dancing, but they're really getting ready to do kicks and punches and all that. It's quite fascinating. So, where are you from and how are you? This is my friendly gesture. I'm extending a friendly gesture to find out more about my my viewing audience, the people who chat with me. I'm pretty sure the chat feature is still working. Somebody was chatting with me earlier today. So, yeah. Don't be shy. Say hi. I think I'm... I sat here for 2 hours so far. We'll make this a telethon. Eddie's telethon. The telethon of harmonica and fart noises. Fart noises. I think I'll need to charge batteries again. My batteries are not still working. I guess the slower the farts, the less power I have. I guess I'm going to take a break now. I've been talking. I've been trying to play Christmas music on my harmonica. So there's possibly 2 people. Possibly 2. And I know the feature's working. Let me see. Let me check again. Live check. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see you. You're saying hello, hi. All right. Well, good. I was wondering why the chat feature somehow. Could you put in another chat so we can make sure that it's working? We need to make sure this is working so we can have a chat. Hold on a second here. What's going on? Is it all of a sudden it's not working? Maybe you want to be a silent watcher? But who watches the watchers? Some people are trying to chat with me, but it's the chat feature sometimes phases out for some reason. There we go. I can see you now. Guard your privacy. Guard your privacy. I think if I do this long enough, somebody will chat. It's that the law of averages, the ratio. So what age group? You got all these funny faces? That one looks like SpongeBob, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Welcome. I'm wearing my Santa hat today. I think yesterday I had a stocking cap. I think we can turn on the kitty cam. We have a kitty cat here. We have a... See, this kitty cat's trying to get to the birds. A little kitty cat. We have a kitty cam. Meow. Meow. Waiting patiently for a bird to land. Our evil kitty cat. Kitty, 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 kitty. Look at that. Cat's waiting. It's waiting. Welcome to our kitty cam. Oh, kitty, kitty. There we go. And we're back. So we got 2 people. Oh boy. I've been sitting here for 2 hours. I don't have my watch with me, so I can't really tell what time of day it is. All I know is it's daytime. I tried to cook marshmallows today. I had trouble yesterday too. These lighters don't seem to want to work. So who's the other person? The first person introduced themselves. Now we have 2. Lucky I know how to count, huh? It's a good thing I know how to count. I got 4 likes and two chatters. 2 people joining. I think the cat likes my music. I guess I'm a cat-friendly guy. I'm very cat-friendly. Felis domesticus, aka the average house cat. Ah, now there's only 1 person. They left without saying goodbye. I'll play until I get tired. I hope you're enjoying this time we spend together on our holiday season's greetings. We greet the seasons. I think we'll turn it back on the kitty cam. We got the kitty cam. Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Hi, kitty, 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 kitty. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. That cat's thinking, you're crazy. You're crazy. Meow, meow, meow. I love tuna, I love liver. Meow mix, please deliver. I love tuna, I love liver. Meow mix, please deliver. Whenever Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, Dr. Evil gets angry. Dr. Evil gets angry, and whenever Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. And when Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die. Isn't that right, Kitty? When Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset, people die. Oh, kitty, kitty. Dr. Evil. Talka, 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 talka. Meow! What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. Pussycat, pussycat, I love you. Yes, I do. Pussycat, pussycat, I love you. He's ignoring me. Are you ignoring me? Pussycat, pussycat, I love you. Yes, I do. Pussycat, pussycat. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. I hope that was enjoyable. A little pussycat song. All right. We have a kitty cat in our midst. All right. So are you busy doing something? Are you packing? Are you roasting marshmallows? Do you just want me to keep doing what I'm doing? Like the insane clown posse? We do what we do? If I only could, I'd set the world on fire. I'm sure you've heard of the insane clown posse. You're cooking. Okay. Well then, we'll cook together. What you got cooking? Smiles. Hello everyone. Smiles. Smiles everyone. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Smiles everyone. I remember that show. Yeah, Fantasy Island. Who was that? There was that guy, Ricardo Montalban. Ricardo Montalban. He was. Who else was there? Hervé. Hervé was the guy who would always say, "The plane, boss, the plane. It's the plane, boss, the plane." Ricardo Montalban would come out and say, "Smiles, everyone, smiles." That's an interesting movie. It was a series, yeah. Fantasy Island. Every episode would begin with Hervé saying, "The plane, the plane." There were so many jokes made about that show. Yeah, his name was Hervé. Ricardo Montalban was also in Spy Kids. He played in Spy Kids. He also played Khan, in The Wrath of Khan. He got William Shatner. Merry Christmas! John Wick. Merry Christmas, John Wick. We are chatting. We're talking about this, that, and the other thing. We're now 2 hours in. It's how we have fun. We pass the time, and we get a lot of viewing hours. We're putting in some viewing time. Talking about other YouTubers that we like. I saw that Skitty app, or whatever that Skitty app toilet, or Skit app. There's so many different videos made of that Skit app toilet. It's kind of weird to look at. It reminds me of Resident Evil. Have you ever played the Resident Evil game? It's all about heads popping out of toilets. Yeah, that's right. Skibbity, 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 skibbity doo, skibbity, skibbity toilet. I think I'll put one of those on my, what was that? My community page. I put a stop motion video that was made back in 1930. It's a really interesting video. Made in 1930. That was a long time ago. That was before World War II. What else? I also have a video of a mongoose. A mongoose saved a family of squirrels from a cobra. That was pretty cool. It's cool to watch mongooses go to work, man. They're so quick. And they have anti-venom. They say they have a really thick hide so that snakes can't bite them. They can try to bite, but their hide is so thick. It reminds me of the badger. You know, the badgers, they have, all they do is fall asleep. When they're bitten by a snake, they just fall asleep. They don't die. It's interesting how creatures adapt to their environment. They have these interesting ways of adapting. Some venoms secrete a venom. Some creatures have really sharp teeth. They have very good fighting skills. And then you have the porcupine. I keep thinking about the porcupine. Those are very dangerous. I saw a poor dog that tried to bite a porcupine. Had a lot of quills in his face, in its mouth. And it takes a lot to pull out those quills because they have barbs in them. Those barbs will continue working in. And then there's the blue ring octopus. They say that's a pretty fatal venom. Portuguese man-o-wars, I used to see those off the coast of Hawaii. The Portuguese man-o-war. It looks like a piece of bubble gum. You ever blow a bubble and then pinch the bubble? It kind of looks like that. It's a big jellyfish. They have really long tentacles or extensions. So we got 3 people. We can say hi to each other and 5 likes. I'm hitting an all-time high today. Yesterday I think I got 5 likes. I noticed people can only stay for a short while. One guy was listening to me while he was doing homework. He said, "I'm doing my homework while I listen to your stream." These are going to be kind of like marathons. So this one is almost 3 hours long. And I didn't even bring my puppet today. I guess I'm doing all right. I know, isn't that weird? And they have stingers in all of them. All those tentacles have stingers. They say use meat tenderizer. If you're ever stung by a Portuguese man-o-war, they say one thing to do is use meat tenderizer. I don't know why. I remember for bee stings, we would use Arm & Hammer baking soda. Baking soda helps the bee sting. Also, it helps to pull out the stinger. But that's only for honeybees. Hornets, they can sting you multiple times. And not only are you being stung multiple times, you're being stung multiple times by many hornets. I was watching a video this morning about a woman who was making a bee extractor. She was, I think it was a 3D printed. You hook it up to a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, and she was sucking out the vacuum. She was vacuuming out the hornets. You're back. You were here earlier today. Cool. So I'm getting some retention. I'm starting to attract an audience. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I think that calls for the jaw harp. I'm going to bring out the jaw harp. Make that boingy noise. Boingy noise. Please, Uncle Eddie, make the boingy noise. The hillbilly sound. Let's see how high we can jump. Nice. Very nice. Kitty, kitty, kitty. What you doing? The kitty is coming near to me. That's cool. Who remembers Clarissa Explains It All? That was a Nickelodeon show called, yeah, Clarissa Explains It All. It was Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart also played Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And in the theme song, they'd say, cool. That was a long time ago. That was back in the 90s. Clarissa Explains It All. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I used to go to my brother's house and watch Clarissa. Clarissa Explains It All. Ah! My phone wants to interrupt me. So now we have one person. Aww. Four people. Welcome. We went from 3 to 4 in just a second. In just a hot second. When I get happy, I play jaw harp. One time I scared somebody's cat. They texted me, or they texted me that saying that I scared their cat. I think it was when I played the flute. I got 6 likes. I'm going to write home to Mommy about this. Mommy, I got 6 likes today. And I didn't even have my swim fins on. I didn't even have my swim fins on. Seven likes. Wow. I'll have to write this in my diary. Dear diary, I got 7 likes today. 8 likes. Wow. You're going to make me cry. You guys are going to make me cry. All these likes. You are cool. All right. So you are John Wick. We got John Wick and the Hizzy. I'm glad you found my channel. Boy, that makes my mouth tired. I'll have to go to another instrument. Hello, Jacob Smith. Hello, good day. How are we doing this fine evening? I don't know anybody who talks like that, but I do. How are you this fine evening? Let's all walk over to the cobbler shop and see if they're making some shoes for us.
Jupiter time.
Let's stop and talk to the bobby cop. Hello. I like that Oliver Twist. Have you ever seen Oliver Twist? Consider yourself at home. Consider yourself part of the family. Never before has a boy wanted more. Oliver, Oliver. You want... That's what I remember about that Oliver Twist. Please, sir, I want some more. You want more? Who knows about Oliver Twist? They always played that around Christmas time. The show Oliver Twist. It was a big comic. It was a musical about a young boy called Oliver Twist. And then there was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka. That's what it was. When I was a kid, it was Gene Wilder. Now they're making so many remakes. Who knows Young Frankenstein? You ever watch Young Frankenstein? Put the candle back. I like that saying. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Put it on the Reds. In case you haven't noticed, I really like movies. So we got between 4 and 5 people today. And 8 likes. Wow. I'm going for a personal best today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who remembers Sesame Street? I think Sesame Street is still playing today. They're coming up with new puppets all the time. When I was young, it was Oscar the Grouch, Cookie Monster, Big Bird. They did a whole documentary about Big Bird. It was a very touching story. They were saying Big Bird almost died in the Space Shuttle Challenger. Big Bird almost died. So I'm getting alerts from Facebook. Oh well. They can wait. Yes, Big Bird almost died. Who else? Grover. I remember Grover. Grover and Kermit the Frog didn't get along too well. Grover was kind of obnoxious. Hey, Froggy baby! And then there was Super Grover! Oh my God, I'm remembering my childhood. Now it's... What other puppet shows? There was the Muppet Show. I remember the Muppet Show with Miss Piggy. Also with Oscar the... No, it was Kermit the Frog. Fozzie Bear. Waka Waka. So what's my audience today? Everyone's over 18? Everyone's around 18? So I know what not to say. I noticed I got a lot of kids watching my videos. A lot of kids commenting on my jokes. My dad jokes. Or sometimes watching my videos. I've got some videos that I made of stop motion, you know. I think I'll put those on my community page so they're easier to see. You're 14? Cool. So so now I'm getting like people of all age ranges. Every time I look at my demographic, it's usually 18 and older. But there are some people like yourself, 14. Some people are like 8 years old, 9 years old, and they're all watching my videos. I'm gonna have to do some more, some kid-friendly stuff, or like when you watch cartoons. No, I haven't. So that's the name of the movie. There's Five Nights at Freddy's. I saw. I think that movie's already out. Five Nights at Freddy's. There's a couple of movies that I'm trying to remember that are coming out or have been out for a little while. I was talking about Evil Dead Rise. I think the Marvel universe. I don't know if they're making any more movies about the Marvel universe, because that's what. A few years ago, I used to go to the movies all the time. I remember watching all of the Harry Potter movies, all of the Lord of the Rings movies. I used to always go to the movies. I would, especially when there was a series. I was always waiting for, like the next. What else was there? There was Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and then there was League of a Distinguished Gentlemen, I think it was called. Sean Connery was in it. Highlander is a good movie. If you ever seen Highlander, the original Highlander, that started a series. Yeah. Yeah, some people say click your fingers. In the UK, they say click your fingers. In the US, they say snap your fingers. Which is it, snap or click? And then the switchblade. In the UK, they call it a flick knife. It's a flick knife. Here they say switchblade. The movie Rebel Without a Cause. I remember there was a movie Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean, and that movie was the reason they made switchblades illegal, because switchblades were always associated with the bad guys. So they made it, I think, a felony. But here in Georgia, you can have a switchblade. Switchblades are really cool. And then they have the OTF knives, the one that shoot out the front. OTF knives. Here in Georgia, man, you can have a pistol, and you don't need a permit, which is kind of good. You could be your own crime stopper. Freeze! Put your hands up. Stop beating that old lady. Oh. Stop kicking that puppy. It used to be you had to take courses, you had to get a permit just for pepper spray. I remember pepper spray. I had to take a course and get a card to show that I took the course to have pepper spray. And then now you can just go to the store and buy pepper spray, which is kind of good to have. If someone's bothering you, just get out your pepper spray. Oh, those two were dad jokes? Oh, the click? Yeah. I think at least 3 of them yesterday. Yesterday I did 3 dad jokes, 3 to 4 dad jokes. The one about the taco. How does a taco say grace? Let us pray. That one I think got the most views. There was a lot of work that I've done that gets hardly any views. It seems like they always find a short and a lot of people see it. But then there's some on my channel that people haven't seen. Some of my best work, some of my funniest jokes are on my channel, and people don't get to see them because they have that feed. They're called the short feed. And that's where I get most of my views from, is the shorts feed. And it helps when you go to the channel, you can see all my good stuff. So I'm trying to get that word out, telling people, hey, you want to see some real funny jokes? Go to my channel. Don't just rely on the news feed, or on the, not the news feed, the shorts feed, yeah. Some of those views, some of those shorts have been seen in Ireland, some places in the UK, and in where else? It was Canada. Two of my biggest viewers are in Canada and the UK. So yeah, I'm getting there. So I think this time next year I'll have a lot more viewers. A lot more people will know about me. Today I handed some of my cards to the nurses at the hospital. There was I need to keep doing that. Just keep handing out the cards. Maybe I'll get more people watching. And then I can time how long it takes for people to know that I'm live. I really enjoy doing the live streams, because you never know who you're talking with. You never know where they're from. It's always a surprise. One guy was south of England, or South England, just today. Another person was in Saudi Arabia. Oh, there's Francesca. Whenever I hear the leaves back there, it's the cat. I have a kitty cat that visits me sometimes. Sometimes she's a feral cat. We get lots of feral cats around here. They like to chase the birds. It's kind of fun to watch them. They get so excited when they see a bird. They like to pounce. They sneak and pounce. They attack squirrels too. Yeah, sing in the showers until you get soap in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. I saw that. There was a guy that did a bunch of dad jokes. Then it's a soap opera. It's all fun and games until you get soap in your mouth. A lot of people sing in the shower. I like to do it too. Especially when I remember a whole song. I'll start out with the choruses. Sometimes it sounds better in the shower, because you're singing over the sound of the shower, and then you get the acoustics. Some people have that door. Instead of a curtain, they have a door. They close the door, and it kind of traps the sound. There's no way to get embarrassed either when you're singing in the shower, because the door is closed and the shower's running. And then you just feel so good that you're cleaning yourself. You're giving yourself a cleansing. It's all fun and games. So yeah, that's kind of like, it's nice to know that I have different age ranges. Because I was thinking about that, if I've got, some of my subscribers are children, so true that. So true. This ball gets in the way sometimes. I have a big furry ball. Sometimes bumps me in the head. Anyway. Like a Who. The Grinch Stole Christmas. How many people saw that movie? The one with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey played the Scrooge. It was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There's a guy at Universal Studios who dresses like the Grinch. Jim didn't like being dressed as the Grinch, because he said it was like it was being buried alive. Because all that makeup, it's covering his nose, and his mouth can barely move, I guess. And somebody told him to punch himself in the leg whenever he was, feeling uncomfortable. I think it was a Navy SEAL. There was a Navy SEAL that was trained in like interrogation tactics, and he said he would smoke a cigarette and punch himself in the leg because he wanted to do it for the kids. You know, he wanted to dress up for the kids, and he kept saying, "It's for the kids. It's for the kids." And so yeah, smoke a cigarette and punch yourself in the leg if you're ever going through a hard time. That's Navy SEAL training. I met a Navy SEAL one time in one of the apartment complexes I lived in. It's always interesting to talk to soldiers, the things that they experience when in combat. Well, sometimes funny stories, you know, like when they were in boot camp. My brother tells me stories of when he was in boot camp. Another thing was cats. You know, in boot camp there was reconnecting. I'm live. Wow. I guess we're getting solar flares. They say solar flares mess with our technology. I never had that happen. I guess you can all see me still. It had to reconnect. I saw the buffer signal. So right now I've got 8 likes. This is almost a 3-hour show. Let's see, we talked about movies. We talked about punching ourselves in the leg. We talked about things we like to eat. Talk about my big furry ball. It's almost like a battle flail. You ever seen those battle flails in the medieval times? They say a lot of people use those in combat. The mace and the battle flail. I think more people use the mace more, because the mace, it was very good for piercing armor. Just clubbing somebody really hard with it. That would be terrible. If you have a helmet on and somebody makes a dent in your helmet, or makes a dent in your chest, in your breastplate, it'd be hard to move after a while. Armor is good. If somebody's trying to stab you or slash you, the plate armor was always the best. They say the first armor was the chainmail armor, and Vikings used the chainmail armor. And then they started to come out with plate armor can stop bullets sometimes, like a musket fire. They were doing some experiments about how much what armor can take, you know. Sometimes even arrows can be stopped by plate armor. You probably watched it, Mythbusters. And then there's these guys who like to take ballistics gel. They make skeletons and things like that. They take a skeleton and they cover it with ballistics gel, and then they beat the crap out of it. Or they shoot bullets. And they say, this is what will happen if a bullet hits a torso. I like those pads that they used. They were in Mythbusters. Whenever they brought out Buster, they would put those pads that would, under a certain amount of energy directed at it, it would break the pads. And they would drop Buster from a crane sometimes. They did that water surface area test. They were saying, if you throw a hammer into the water, will it break up the surface tension? And I guess it you're back. All right. Oh yeah, I remember you. What was it from? Either from the Netherlands or from, what was the other place? Denmark? One of those two places. I do remember you though. So now we got 5 people. 5 people on the chat. The chat that is the chat. From the Netherlands, that's right. I'll get you all right. I'll remember. It takes that neuroplasticity, you know. They say your brain cells, they retain memory, you know. But I guess the older you get, the harder it is for your memory to retain. I guess as long as you keep remembering things, you keep producing more brain cells, you know. So it's always good to stay in school, you know, or to at least get refresher courses. Always learn new things. because it teaches your brain how to remember stuff, you know. I think I'm going to have to end this. I've been here for 3 hours, almost 3 hours. Yeah, it's a record. I'm breaking records here. Plus, there's no, I got to go anyways. So we'll probably do this tomorrow. I'll come out here tomorrow and we'll just start chatting. What do you think, everybody? Should we chat tomorrow? I'll start putting all my toys back in the bag. Ring the bell one last time. And maybe tomorrow I'll be able to roast some marshmallows. I'll get a lighter that actually works. This one stopped working. This used to be so faithful, and now it kind of wore out. But oh well. I'm sad too because I used this to light candles and things like that. Candles and the like. Well, it's sad to say, but I'll have to say goodbye right now because it's time to start cooking dinner. Time to start petting the dog. I haven't pet the dog today. It's always nice to pet the dog. Say hi to some feral cats around here. So have a great day. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you. I'll probably see you tomorrow though. And y'all have, yeah, I know. Good. See ya. Well, try not to be too sad. I'll be back tomorrow. Happy boy. Happy boy. Happy Christmas. Okay. Happy Christmas. Bye-bye. Have a great day. And action. And out. There we go. Over and out.